Hey everyone, Sparking Light 12 here, and today I'm gonna be doing a video. I didn't really have any much video ideas, and I wanted to just show how I draw because in my speed paints you can obviously tell you can't really understand what I'm doing, and yeah. Before I start, the programs I use is it's Fire Alpaca. I don't think most of these strategies will work unless you're using something like Medibang, and Fire Alpaca is free, so anyone can get it. Second off, some of these strategies might not work for you, and maybe you should check out some others. 3, some of the brushes I use in this are custom, which I mostly got from DeviantArt, so just search up Fire Alpaca custom brushes. 4, sorry if my voice sounds really terrible. I use my laptop microphone, which is pretty bad, and I'm trying to sound a little bit better in my videos now because I usually sound really awkward, and I'm trying to talk a little louder and stuff, and yeah. So I'm going to show you 3 strategies, which if you look at my DeviantArt, you can obviously tell what I use. One is a crayon, which basically looks like this. This is a crayon design. Then I have the watercolor, which is basically like this, or sometimes I might use the fur brush, which is a little thinner. Then I have the normal flat color design, which is basically like this, just a flat color. I don't use this too often. Well, usually I will, but I'll use it with a lot of shading. Now, personally, out of my favorites, my favorite would have to be this first, this second, and this third. I used to use this before on my DeviantArt. I use this mostly for Under the Sea. This one I use a lot, and this one I used it for Evergreen. So yeah. And the tablet I use is Wacom Intuos Comic. I suggest it for beginners, and yeah, it's actually a pretty good tablet. Funny story, I lost it right now and I found it again. Okay, so how I draw is that I get either a dark blue or a dark red. For now, I'm going to use a dark blue because I find that a little better. So I'm just going to sketch out a cat. So I'm going to speed that up. Okay, so I'm back, and you can see me kind of selecting and then duplicating all of this. This is nothing really to worry about, but yeah. So these are my 3 dogs. So this one will be the crayon. I'm going to do watercolor on this one and flat color on this one. So I'm just going to combine all these layers together. And what I do is that I just make this, I turn down the opacity so that I can see my line art better. So for the flat color, I begin with getting preferably a pencil, the pencil tool, and putting it down to 1. And then I just zoom in to the one I want, and we're going to start off with flat color since that's the easiest. So I'm going to just trace it. I'm going to trace my sketch, and you want to use the correction tool, which basically makes your line fall under your pencil. So basically you go like this, it goes super slowly, but if you were to put it to 0, you draw more freely, and for this you can't really scribble that good. So depending on how jittery your hands are or something, or if you're kind of bad at keeping your hands stable, then you might want to put it a little high. If you're in the middle, you want to put it to like 13, and yeah, if you're really okay, then put it to 0. I mostly put it to 19 when I'm doing my line art for flat color, because I tend to keep it a little straight. I don't like making messy lines that much. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I'm just gonna follow the line. You do not want to kind of, what should I say? Just brush on your line art, because your line art kind of gives the shape of your drawing, so you want to take your time with that. Okay, so I'm done, and I will duplicate this. Sorry if I stumble on words. I kind of tend to do that a lot. So you want to duplicate these. I'm just going to duplicate this for the crayon version, but for the crayon version, you may have to what's it called? Yeah, for the crayon version, you do need line art, so keep that in mind. And I'm just gonna drag that over into the crayon spot. Okay, and I'm gonna deselect that. Okay, so let's go back to our I'm just gonna name this flat color line art. Okay, flat color line art. Naming it sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't. I usually don't name it, but for the sake of the video, I am. So you want to get rid of your sketch, and you want to just close any open holes you left that you thought you covered, but the sketch made it look like that. And you can see that after you remove your sketch, it feels a little empty. Well, that's how it feels for me. So what you want to do is, for flat color, you want to close it up. This goes the same for crayon, but we'll worry about that later. So you just want to close it up, and you want to, what I do is I bring it up another layer. I get like random color like green, and I fill it in. I know it seems really weird. I don't fill in the ears, or like, you don't want to fill in the eyes or the nose or the ears or like any small part in it, because those you might need to make a new layer to that design. So you want to make a new layer again, and you're gonna click on clipping, and boom, you can now draw. So I'm gonna bring out my pen, and I'm just gonna get like, for the flat color, I'm just gonna do dark brown, and you're just gonna color it in. Sometimes I do use watercolor, but it does look like it's a flat color, so yeah. And you can also see that your line art looks pretty white, like it's pixely, so you might want to go over it. We'll do that later. So you just color it, design it. I'm just gonna time lapse this, and we'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm kind of going for like a chocolate design. Okay, sorry about that. I just heard something. Okay, so I'm kind of going for like a chocolate design. I guess you can call it like chocolate. And also, if you hear background noises now, I'm really sorry. It's just that my parents are doing something in the background, so just try your best to listen. So this is Chocolate. We'll just call her name Chocolate. So this is how I mostly design it. Now what you want to do, I know it's not really like flat color anymore, but if you choose to, blur it. Blurring it kind of makes it feel more realistic and adds like a whole new value to it. It doesn't really feel like you just flat colored it. I tend to blur a lot. I think it's a really useful thing on Fire Alpaca. And by the way, this is probably the only design that anyone can use because the rest of them are custom brushes. And comment down below if you want to know where I got these custom brushes. Most of them are from DeviantArt, so just go brush shopping on DeviantArt. If you need any more help, I can leave the links down in the description if I can find them again. And yeah, so you can, if you do remove this layer, you're gonna lose all your coloring because it's clipping onto this. And yeah. So this is how it looks like so far. And now you want to bring out a new layer. And now you're going to do a lot more now. So you're going to just start coloring the eye. We'll talk about the nose later. But you want to just color the eye. I use watercolors for this. So I'm just going to make her eye the classic blue. And I pull out my watercolor brush, and what I do is I make a black color and I fill it in with black, and then I get a lighter shade and I make it small, and then I make it like circle around the black area. This looks terrible. Sometimes you want to reposition the pupil. Yeah. So, and then you just do a little thing like that. That's what I do. Then you just add little strokes of another color sometimes. That's what I do. And then what I do is I get, for the highlight, I make a faint outline, a faint one with the watercolor brush, and I make a small one like that. But for the top one, which is the biggest one, I take a pen and I highlight the corner of it. So I don't know if that really gives a big effect, but I tend to use it. And sometimes I like to make the outline of the eye pop out a lot more. Sometimes I add eyelashes if it really looks like a boy, but when it's supposed to be a girl. So for the nose, I get a color of my choice. So I'm just going to do a really dark, like a reddish brownish. And I get my watercolor. I kind of drag it to a light color. I know it's like a big jump, but that's what I do. And I just do a little outline